Look at the sludgy, muddy leaves. I'm taking it very steady on these. This is, apart from obviously when it's icy, slippiest time of the year, when the leaves have just fallen and they're all bloody soaking wet and mulching up on the road. Hi everybody, welcome back to the Bolt Hole Biker. I wasn't expecting to get a ride in today because when I woke up this morning it was hammering down with rain, and then there's gales forecast and what have you. It was really windy yesterday, but the sun's popped out, so I thought, bugger it, I'm going to go for a ride. So here we are. So there's two purposes for this ride apart from the ride itself, and that is I have bought an external audio recorder. I bought a Zoom H1N, and this is the first time that I've used it, so hopefully this audio is recording and hopefully it sounds okay. I've watched a few YouTube videos, as one does, to work out how to use it properly and get the settings right and what have you, so hopefully it should be right. Anyway, I'm rambling. Second reason for this vlog, and the main one really, is to talk about my lovely Duke. I love this bike. I absolutely love it. The ride is fantastic. It's so much fun, and I have a big grin on my face every time I ride it. But, and I know you shouldn't get swayed by things that you read, but I keep reading, you know, bike reviews and what have you of new bikes that are coming out, and then whenever the Duke 790 is mentioned, they always rave about it in terms of its ride and its handling, etc, etc, and its awesome engine and the electronics and everything fantastic. But, oh, look at how slippery this is, Jesus. But there's always a sting in the tail at the end of every article that I read. It's always saying, oh, it's a bit plasticky though, and, you know, budget this and budget that. And I just think, yeah, you know, although I love the bike, I am aware of the fact that it is, you know, it's a bit plasticky and it's got some components on it that aren't exactly the highest spec and don't really stand up next to, you know, some of your Triumph bits or your BMWs or Ducatis or what have you. So anyway, my mind has just been wandering slightly into the realms of, should I change it? Should I get another bike? Because, you know, once you've seen something shiny in front of you, it makes you want it, doesn't it? And I've been looking at some great new bikes that have come out. I mean, one of them being the 890, the Duke 890, which has got a higher spec and it's got, you know, better kit on it. It's still probably a little bit plasticky, I suppose. But I mean, KTM have got that sort of off-road heritage, haven't they? So I understand why they're a bit plasticky. It doesn't make it a bad bike. But anyway, I've been toying with the idea of possibly changing it, but I've kind of got a second option, because I don't think that I'm going to get a bike, if I did change it, that I would love as much as this. You know, probably not without spending a lot of money, which I just don't have at the moment. So my second option is to just say, right, I'm keeping this bike. It's going to be a long-term keeper, but I'm going to spec it up. The bits on it that are plasticky and aren't necessarily the highest spec, I'm going to spec up. I mean, it's a fairly well-spec'd Duke anyway, because when I bought it I went a little bit crazy with the options package on the power parts and what have you. So the actual bike itself, there's only one thing that I would love to have on this bike that I haven't got, and I think it may even be something that can be retro fitted, or look at this mud, Jesus. And that is cruise control. For when because I do use this bike for doing longer trips, and sometimes when you're on the motorway for hours, it would just be lovely to have a cruise control. So I have looked into that, and I don't think there's a KTM one. There is one for the 790 Adventure, but not for the Duke. But I don't know if it might be something that could be modified or transferred over, or if there are any aftermarket cruise control kits, and I think there are. I need to do a bit more research into that. But what I'm thinking of doing is, because I love the bike, I love the engine, I'm one of the lucky people that's got one that hasn't had problems. I know some people have had problems with them, but this is a solid bike, so I'm not worried about that side of it. So I've got an aftermarket end can on. I've got a Remus end can, but one of the things that I don't like about this bike is the amount of work I have to put into keeping the downpipes on the exhaust from going rusty. They're not rusting. I've got it all ACF 50'd up and what have you, but I do, whenever I wash the bike and dry it, I put a lot of effort into that, because I can't stand seeing rusty pipes. It looks awful. I'm also aware that stock pipes aren't necessarily made out of the best metal, so I'm thinking about full Akropovic, or Akropovic as people seem to say now, straight through exhaust and the remap that comes with it, upgrade suspension, see if I can get cruise control function along this bike, and then bodywork wise I'm thinking about going full carbon, because I've not seen a Duke where someone's gone full carbon, and I'm aware that you can buy carbon kits for these. Upgrade the suspension and upgrade the brakes. You can get a Brembo upgrade kit on that fits the 790 Duke. I've got Brembos on the Thruxton and they're just so much better. Fair play to this bloke. Basically, that'll be taking the bike, which is not fully stock but virtually stock bike, upgrading brakes, suspension, exhaust, remap, full carbon kit and cruise control, so that it would basically become one absolutely, like, completely badass stealth black carbon iteration of a Duke 790. It would just be like no other 790 out there. I realise that's a fair bit of outlay to get it to that stage, but I love this bike. I don't want to get rid of it. If I'm going to keep it long term and not upgrade to a higher performance bike or a different bike that's got maybe a different build quality, then it's alright. It's going to be less money than a new bike. It'll be worth it. I wouldn't be able to do it all at once, but it'd be a nice little project to have. So let me know if you'd like to see some videos on taking a Duke 790 from stock spec to awesome spec. Be like a Batman 790. Yeehaw! I'm thinking about turning this into the bloody best Duke 790 out there. Literally, just rather than spend the money on another bike, I'm going to spend less money getting this bike absolutely drop dead gorgeous, tip top, performance wise, component wise, bodywork, the whole lot. Anyway, that's my plan. So let me know what you think about that in the comment section, or if you think that I should just chop it in and get a new bike, let me know that as well and suggest a bike. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, then please leave me a like, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye. Shitting hell. Tosser. Ah! Fucking arsehole. Run off the road by a bloody car that didn't fucking see me. You see him swerve as he saw me? He must have been on his phone or something. It can only have been 10 or 15 feet away from me before he swerved. He's just flipping driving straight towards me. There's only enough bloody space on the road for one vehicle. I couldn't just grab a handful of brake because it was really slippery on that bit of road. I had to brake steadily, so wasn't a lot else I could have done there.